But I saw, Alabama's killing that guy tonight with nitrogen for
What
the
guy?
first time. So, all right, this guy's been on death row for some time now, probably a decade, or doesn't matter. But what he did was another man hired him as a hitman. So he was a killer for hire, along with a second man who I don't know the second killer's story. It doesn't matter, but guy hires Bob. We'll call him because I don't remember his name. Doesn't fucking matter either. Bob gets hired to kill this guy's wife. Kills the wife. The authorities then are closing in on the husband. The husband offs himself, and then someone gives a tip to the authorities. Go check on this guy Bob's house. He's got a VCR that we think he took from the murder. That's how long ago this murder was, I would imagine. That he would steal a VCR from a murder victim and keep it.
It wasn't a collectible, I guess.
I guess not. So they traced the VCR back to the murder victim. The jury voted to put this guy to death, and now it's time to do it. And they are using this brand new method of execution. It's never been used on humans ever, anywhere before. It is nitrogen asphyxiation. They basically just replace the air in a chamber that you're in with fucking nitrogen. And I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be awful. That's going to be awful.
Didn't they torture Deadpool like that in the movie?
I don't know what they did to Deadpool, but
what
they're doing in Alabama tonight.
Why don't we just
fade off to sleep? And
I bet you're like gasping for breath in a like there's nothing there.
The other thing is, do they do anything before the nitrogen, right? Like, is he drugged up in some really happy way? I've had shit prior to surgery that I think I could easily survive asphyxiation happily.
I would want them to I said this earlier on Discord. I was like, I want them to put me to sleep with that dentist laughing gas until I'm completely out, and then lop my head off with an old French guillotine.
An old one.
They could
an old
asphyxiate you with the nitrous oxide too. Just
none of this new age bullshit. I want the real.
I think we've gotten entirely too soft with the way we execute people. Braveheart.
What's your suggestion?
Drawn and quartered. Public. We go. This guy killed 2 children. He killed a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old in a park with a shillelagh.
A shillelagh.
Yeah, he was he said, I just like to see the world burn.
Ivan McDougal, the murderer of Fifth Lane.
Ivan, just a classic Irish name there, Ivan.
Half Russian, half Irish.
I'm Ivan Korsakov, the most Irish man.
Did they decapitate Braveheart via execution?
They cut him. Yeah, they dragged him, then they cut him open. They castrated him. They pulled his guts out, disemboweled him. Then they.
Oh shit, that's worse than what I had in mind.
It's so much worse.
It was so much
think about how much fear gets put into the heart of other rapists and murderers when we do that at halftime at the Super Bowl.
Well, Taylor Swift.
First of all, ratings explode. Everyone tunes in to see the public execution. Coming up next, the 12 most notorious rapists of 2023. You won't want to miss it. And then, we, they have like 12 different ways. Audience voting.
Who's sponsoring the execution? Who's it brought to you by?
Arby's.
Arby's. We have the
meat. Yeah.
And then you see a guy just being electrocuted in the chair.
Yeah.
It could be themed like
Tesla. Tesla sponsors it. They get shocked to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only green energy used tonight.
Only green energy used tonight. It is shocking. It's like, look, you can see the windmill start spinning when he starts fizzling. Like that's
oh Jesus.
No joke though. General Electric would sponsor that. They'd be like, it's the cleanest electric chair money can buy. Right here. I've been watching these like YouTube shorts, and they go through companies that you think make like silly things, like Subaru. Subaru, you make cars for lesbians, right? Like, what'd you used to do though? Back in the day, we made little Vespas out of old aircraft parts. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, and then we made aircraft for folks. Which folks? The Japanese. Wait, did you bomb Pearl Harbor, Subaru? And Subaru's like, did you bomb Pearl Harbor, Subaru?
A different time.
I do not recall.
Subaru's done such a good job of whitewashing that. And this is a little embarrassing to say. Like, only today did I realize that Subaru was a Japanese company. I thought it was an Australian company because of the Outback.
That is embarrassing.
Because the Australian because of the Subaru Outback vehicle. Because in the Subaru commercials, hang with me here, it would be an Australian themed commercial with the Subaru Outback. You'd have a Crocodile Dundee motherfucker, and he'd be there, and there'd be koalas and kangaroos and shit. And for some reason, it's stuck in my mind since childhood that Subaru was an Australian car company.
No, Australians don't make anything, dude.
I know. They don't make anything.
They're a global drain. They don't make anything.
That's hilarious.
I don't think they do.
That is funny.
I just thought within the name itself it sounded Japanese, but I see what you're saying.
I know,
now.
but
It makes sense. I see what you're saying.
I don't know how.
See, the weird thing about
today, I found out.
The weird thing about the death penalty, and I don't want to get into all serious stuff, is that
I do.
I guess we're at the point where we can really prove when someone's dead, because I was just reading a story the other day about this black kid named Willie Francis, and he had to be electrocuted twice because it didn't work the first time.
Yeah,
and then they find out later that he was innocent of all of it altogether, right? And it's like, I hopefully, I don't know if we're at the point today where we can prove stuff 100%, but I guess with video and all that fun stuff and DNA, hopefully yes. But it's like, so many cases, like how many cases have we heard now of guys getting out of jail after 20 years and find out they were innocent to begin with? You know what I mean?
I heard of one this month. Yeah,
like there's so many. So it's like,
you do the best you can. The problem is the criminal justice system isn't made to find truth and right and wrong. It's set up just like every other system is. It's about winning and losing. It's about winners and losers. So you don't look at a prosecutor and say, did you win? You want to, if you look at a prosecutor, you're weighing and measuring if they're any good or not. How many of you won? How many of you lost? Not how many were innocent and how many were guilty, actually. Like you can't say, well, I lost 3. Oh, that looks bad. Well, they were innocent. You lost. Like, your job is to put them away. Their job is to defend the guy. I don't know. The winning and losing aspect that kind of makes the criminal justice system a very scary place to be involved. I promise you, if you've never dipped your toe in, it's terrifying.
See, that's one of the things that depressed me when I was in university. I was doing pre-law, and it was explained to me in a weird way, but it's like it just makes you lose. It makes you lose faith in the system. That there's 2 types of justice: there's criminal justice and there's civil justice. Criminal is when you do something against the people of the country, right? So it doesn't matter about the individual, because whenever a criminal is brought to court, it's always the people versus John Doe, right? That's why it's about the society doing wrong. It's about doing something wrong in society. So it's not about the individual. That's why people, if they lose a criminal case, they take them to civil court, and that's when people get monetary wins, as opposed to prison, right? So if you don't that's why you can get guilty in one and not the other. So you can take someone to court civilly and take away all their money, and that's how you get justice.
The burden of proof is also lower. You don't have to go beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's how you get a situation like O.J. Simpson, where, well, that's actually not how you got it, but what happened, we know how you get there, but he was found civilly liable. But the problem with that is enforcing those payments, especially if someone's in a state like Florida, is very difficult. Florida has, I don't know exactly how the law works, but it's something like you can't, through almost any means, take someone's last vehicle, someone's last domicile, a few different things, like through any sort of judgment whatsoever. It's almost like, hey, that's his way of getting around. That's where he lives. Don't make him homeless. It's sort of that. But then what people like OJ will do is get a really massive home, sink all their value in that. And it can't be touched. Although OJ just seemed to ignore the court for years anyway and be just fine. It seems like he doesn't care.
Dude, the longer he goes, the more on his side I am. Who's to say?
Have you not seen any of the documentaries or television shows?
Yeah, Kyle, I've watched all of them, same as you, and I just have a difference of opinion.
I don't
think he did. I don't think he killed that lady. And
shut up. If you go and watch, if you want to see a wonderful mini-series, I know I've recommended it before, but for everybody needs to hear it every time I say it. I think it's called The People versus O.J. Simpson.
It's
the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. playing O.J.
No dogs.
And from Snow Dogs. The man won he won an Oscar.
He played a retarded guy. Yeah.
He also was in Men of Honor with Robert De Niro. Very good movie. Carl Bashir, first black U.S. Navy rescue diver. It's a crazy accomplishment that he made post World War II.
What's the real evidence that OJ did anything wrong?
Everything. He had her blood on him, and his blood was found there, and like her blood was all over his house, on his belongings,
and his truck. I think.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. And his DNA was on the
I was
scene,
too young to follow along with it.
Like that glove fit. The only reason the glove didn't fit is he had a rubber surgical glove on.
And we can all make a glove not fit. You open your hand, like you go all feminine when you want a glove to really get on. You fucking get dainty with that shit. He's up there with his big man hand, like, nope, won't go on, boss.
Dude, even putting on a glove that's like
had a rubber glove on.
Yeah, having a rubber glove on can make it hard to put a glove on that's like even slightly too big for you. It's grippy.
They were fitting gloves. They were
fitted ISO. What do you call them? Isotoners.
Toner.
Yeah.
All his shit was nice.
Johnny Cochran was genius for that, bro.
His alibi was that he was in his front yard golfing for 90 minutes and no one saw him.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad alibi.
Taylor, I highly recommend this mini series because David Schwimmer from Friends, he plays Kardashian. So you may not know this. This is a fun little thing. Kim Kardashian's dad was OJ's best friend. Okay, like those families were intertwined, and so they're present in this during the whole thing. And so David Schwimmer is Kim Kardashian's dad, and he plays OJ's best friend. And as the thing goes on, he's starting to be like, "The fuck's going on here? Wait a minute, what the fuck? What do you mean? They found blood where?" And like he's like, you see OJ's best friend start to realize that
he killed her. Yeah,
he fucked, and everybody starts to realize it. And at the very end, OJ's out and he's free, and he's trying to hobnob and like press the flesh. Because you got to remember this as well. Not remember, but know this about OJ. Huge celebrity back then. This would be like, I don't know, like not who's beloved by all.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Nielsen.
It'd be like if Patrick Mahomes walked into fucking Outback Steakhouse, everybody's shaking his hand and fucking loving him up. But at the end, everybody's looking at OJ funny. All them white people, especially, those were his buddies. Like, I don't know if I can be seen with you anymore, Mr. James.
Mr. James, it's the huge amount of blood all over your things that's what.
It's upsetting the customers. You're wearing the gloves, sir.
Yes.
Imagine Tom Brady, like that level of fame, after football started making movies.
Yeah,
that's how famous OJ was.
Naked Gun series. He was doing TV commercials.
It was those insurance commercials. He was like the Allstate man. He was on all the fucking time.
It wasn't Avis?
And
the car rental?
Oh no, I'm just saying like.
Okay.
I don't. Nobody knows what Avis is. I'm saying like today you have the Allstate man. Like I know that guy when I see him. Or like J.K. Simmons with the other insurance place. Yeah. He was like a household name and a nice guy. And he'd always had this. I don't know how to put this, but he was not going to stand up for black people ever. Anytime that there was an issue where you could maybe pull a Muhammad Ali and be like, "Keep your fucking money, Whitey." No, fuck you. That's wrong how you're treating my black brother. OJ's what did he say? I'm not black, I'm OJ. That's a direct quote.
Yes. That's what Jay-Z even said that in the song.
That's a good fucking song.
Yeah. That's a good fucking song. It was so legit back in those days. Yeah.
I listened
and then you have the rumors that Khloe Kardashian looks like OJ too, right? So it's like that's how
Khloe Kardashian is 100% OJ Simpson's daughter. OJ was boning his best friend's wife. Look at that bitch. She looks like she could run for some yardage too. All right, the rest of them
before the plastic surgery.
And the crazy thing is the rest of them. Bruce Jenner is the other super athlete who was Kris Jenner was hooked up with some of the most athletic supermen of her time, I guess. But yeah, OJ did that shit 100%, Taylor.